Thank you.
Recognized.
Thank you, Chair Blackburn, and thank you and Chairman Cruz for holding this important hearing. I want to thank our witnesses for being here. Congress has a critical role to play to ensure that America's athletes are provided every opportunity to succeed. This means committing to a level playing field across all aspects of sports, from equal pay to anti-doping. In 2022, we passed the Equal Pay for Team USA Act that I led with Senator Capito, which codified equal pay and treatment at the highest level of competition. This means ensuring our athletes are free of abuse, mistreatment, by supporting the U.S. Center for Safe Sport and pushing for necessary reforms to ensure the center is living up to its potential. U.S. athletes continue to face another hurdle with the immense amount of work that goes on into competing at an elite level. We owe it to them to ensure that it's a fair competition. I, too, am concerned that the lack of transparency with the World Anti-Doping Agency demonstrated with the cover-up of the positive test by Chinese swimmers ahead of the Tokyo Summer Olympics in 2021 and the lack of accountability of WADA has taken since. We should not have to wait for an investigation reporting to uncover positive tests from elite athletes. That's what our anti-doping agencies are supposed to do. But even in the wake of the press reports, WADA has failed to be transparent. Last summer, Chairman Cruz and I wrote a letter to the anti-doping agency to understand why they did not challenge the findings from the Chinese anti-doping authority. We also want to assure that WADA takes additional measures to ensure that the Paris Olympic Games were fair and free from doping, and their response to that letter was inadequate. It is a refusal to participate in what is an important accountability. I am sure that today that we will hear from witnesses about this issue. I am sure Katie McLaughlin, who has competed and exceeded at the highest level of swimming, can speak to how much effort it takes to stay in compliance with anti-doping rules. I'm glad to see that we have Diane Kohler here today, whom I appointed to serve as the co-chair of the Commission on the U.S. Olympic and Paralympics, which was established by Congress in 2020. The Commission, in its 2024 report, found that the United States Anti-Doping Agency is the model of success in the Olympic movement, as over 3/4 of the athletes and coaches reported trusting them as an organization. This speaks to Mr. Teigart's success in leading that agency. So thank you to Professor Kohler and to the entire bipartisan commission for your work on this important subject. To ensure clean sports, USADA receives funding from the Office of National Drug Control Policy to invest in anti-doping research. It is because of this research that rigorous adherence to anti-doping rules that the U.S. is the leader in anti-doping. I am concerned that the Trump administration's severe cuts to scientific research and development could hinder this impressive work done by the U.S. in anti-doping research. I hope they'll reverse that. Cutting funding for sciences is the wrong message to the rest of the world and for us to maintain our U.S. leadership. I'm glad to see Dr. Gupta here. Thank you for being here, who served in the Biden administration and can speak to the importance of scientific development to ensure U.S. leadership in anti-doping. We have a responsibility to ensure our athletes are able to compete in the fullest extent of their abilities at the highest level. To do that, the competition must be fair. As we approach the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Olympics, both hosted by the United States, we must ensure that the competition will be fair and free from doping. We also need to support the cities that are hosting these games, including Seattle, Kansas City, Houston, Los Angeles, and have the infrastructure in place for this experience to go well. That is why Senator Moran and I introduced legislation, the Transportation Assistance for Olympic and World Cup Cities Act, to provide the grants and other assistance to improve the regional transportation for those cities. I asked the chairman to put this on a bill at the next markup. So thank you again, Chair Blackburn, and to Ranking Member Hickenlooper for holding this important hearing.